and welcome to the first episode of Spotlight on Diabetes Education from the American Diabetes Association. I'm Nicole Johnson, and I am joined by my friend and my colleague, Barbara Eichorst.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to our first episode on dedicated to diabetes education. My name is Barbara Eichorst. I am a certified diabetes care and education specialist and a registered dietitian.
So we are going to dive into a topic today that affects everyone, people with diabetes, people without diabetes, healthcare professionals, you name it. The topic is sleep. I don't know about you, Barbara, but I tend to struggle a little bit with sleep. Sometimes I do well, sometimes I don't do so well. And I've tried all kinds of strategies and tips and tricks along the way and have figured out a couple things that work for me. But my diabetes actually complicates the situation with sleep. And there's some science behind that, isn't there?
It is. And this year in our standards of care, section 5, that is dedicated to facilitating positive behavior change, sleep was addressed in terms of how it impacts diabetes management. And not only that, it's actually a risk factor for developing diabetes and gestational diabetes. So not only that it can negatively impact diabetes self-management, but also is a risk factor for diabetes.
Oh my goodness. So we need to be very cognizant of all kinds of pieces around the sleep scenario. And there are things that people can do today to help reduce the risks if they don't already have diabetes, and things that others with diabetes can do to improve their sleep situation. So I'm wondering, as a diabetes educator, and you're my favorite diabetes educator, by the way, what would you recommend to me as a person with diabetes to do to have better sleep?
The first thing would be what you have just done. Acknowledge that sleep, or recognize that sleep has an impact on your diabetes. And then once you know that it has an impact, pay attention to it, which you do, and then identify your own trends, what contributes to a problem that you have. And with diabetes, sleep can impact overall daily diabetes management. And also with diabetes, there is another challenge. Diabetes management can interrupt your sleep.
Yes.
Especially with the use of a technology, it becomes really hard. So like I don't have diabetes myself, but I have been wearing continuous glucose monitors. And then I have challenges with sleep. And when wearing the device, it wakes me up in the middle of the night on a nonstop basis because I'm running low. My low is fine because I don't have diabetes. Your low is not fine. You need to be waken up by it. But I didn't realize how disturbing the actual technology can also be on sleep and interrupt with it. So then you have a double challenge. You're trying to improve your diabetes management with the technology and insulin management and everything else, but it also interrupts with your sleep. And is sleep a problem, or is it the technology and diabetes management challenge? So it's a way to figure this out and establish a better understanding of your usual routine and what contributes to what.
I love that you said that. And I think a big takeaway for people is don't forget to talk about your sleep practices and sleep challenges or sleep patterns with your healthcare professional, whether it's your diabetes education care specialist or your whoever it is that you're seeing to talk with about your diabetes. Talk about sleep, because there are some little adjustments that healthcare team can help the individual make to improve the situation. We've learned about the comments that you made about risk are fascinating, and how interrupted sleep, disturbed sleep can increase the risk of diabetes.
Exactly. And we know that with type 2 diabetes, actually 24 to 86% of people with type 2 diabetes have obstructive sleep apnea, which is a serious medical condition. So it's not just, our poor sleeping hygiene. It's more of a real medical condition that needs to be addressed effectively. And then also with type 1 diabetes, sleep, like a poor sleep, is very common. Within 30 to 50% of people with type 1 have difficulties with sleeping. With type 1 diabetes, it becomes more complex because we don't know if it's because of the what is it caused by? Is it caused by hypoglycemia fear, or hypoglycemia itself is contributing to it? There's more complexity to it. With type 2, we know that it's a serious medical condition. The good news is, Nicole, that healthcare professionals are prepared to really address the need of sleep management or sleep health with people with diabetes. Now with the standards of care, it's indication that we are to screen for sleep disturbances or sleep health, and screen, assess, educate people on importance of sleep health and sleep management, and also evaluate the progress that they're making in improvement. Because once people realize that sleep has an impact on their diabetes, we're empowering them with strategies that they can do something about it.
So the why behind, why are we talking about sleep? Why is it important? We know that it can have health benefits, but it also can have other benefits for people, for all people. So we want folks to prioritize getting good sleep, prioritize sleep hygiene, making sure that you don't have distracting things around in the place where you sleep. Maybe, there are some different strategies that folks can deploy to help them advance better sleep. And to be sure to not oversleep or undersleep. And so the way we achieve that is by tracking our sleep. So those are some of the strategies that I read in the ADA Standards of Care. Barbara, did I miss any strategies that folks should know about?
I don't think you set the foundation for it, and the foundation is to monitor the sleep. There is a lot of different apps that you can utilize. There are free apps to monitor your sleep. Some of them can even diagnose sleep apnea. Some of them would just monitor if you're getting into the deep sleep versus light sleep, which is very important to know. Because sometimes we get 8 hours of sleep, but if it's interrupted sleep or it's a light sleep, it does not allow our body to rest and our brain to get the fuel and then process all of the information so we can wake up and feel good. And people who do not get sleep for right amount of sleep or right quality of sleep for years, they don't realize how good it is to get a good night's sleep. And it feels fantastic. I myself recently got few good night sleeps, and I wake up and I'm like, this is what it's supposed to be, with energy. I'm able to think better, have a better attitude, manage things better without good sleep. So sleep really matters. So in addition to monitoring your sleep, make sure that you start developing a good sleep hygiene. Going to bed a specific time, get a surrounding right temperature, sleep in a bed, made bed for sleeping, not for working or for other things. Nutritionally, possibly stop drinking coffee by noon or earlier, because coffee can interrupt your sleep later. Sometimes people drink a lot of just fluids before they go to sleep, and then they have to go to bathroom more frequently, so the body is waking us up in the middle of the night. Also, for people with diabetes, pay attention to what you eat before sleeping. For example, protein matters. So just consuming carbohydrates before going to sleep will increase your blood glucose and then later drop it. So you might wake up due to hypoglycemia, versus if you add a good source of protein, that drop in blood glucose might not happen. So pay attention to what you eat, pay attention to the sleep timing and the sleep environment.
So this has been a great first episode on Spotlight on Diabetes Education. I learned something. I've got to incorporate protein before bed. Thank you, Barbara. And check out the poll in the comments section of this link so you can tell us a little bit more about your sleep. And we'll see you the next time.